Okay, you don't know nothing about a vehicle? Come with me, I'll show you some stuff. Okay, welcome back. See this? This is my list. Because I always come out and do a top 10 thing and then I forget what the top 10 was. So I wrote it down. Now this one here is for people that don't know or are unaware of how to check stuff and look at your vehicle. So the first one is the oil dipstick. Now we lost an engine the other day. A friend of mine lost an engine. Now I'm going to show you something. See the bottom of this dipstick? That slides down the tube. Now, when you're running the thing, it'll go down there and it'll get oil on it like that, right? But you have to look on both sides of the stick. Like right there, it looks like it's full because there's oil there, right? Well, it's not. And then you look over on this side and it's way down here. So when you look at your dipstick, you have to look on both sides of it. Now, when it's out of oil, there will be a little bit of oil on the bottom. So people think, oh yeah, there's lots of oil, it's just low. No, unless you physically see the line across, it's not okay. That's very important. So when you dip the dipstick, it's got to be turned off, in, right out, and you look at it, right? Now see, everybody thinks it's overfull, right? Well, it's not. It's right here, right on the full mark, the safe zone, right? And then you look on both sides of the stick and you'll see the line. I'll just show you that again. Okay, you got this side, and then you have this side, the safe side, right? Now, sometimes you can have it like this, and the oil will be back down there. So the oil level is really there, not there. It rubbed on the stick on the way out. So you got to be very careful about that. Okay? Now, the reservoir for the brakes, you can see it's got the max line. Now, what this tells, don't fill this up. That tells you how much brakes you got left on your truck, basically. You look at the level and it's, because there's the minimum, right? So we're about 3/4. So we got about 3/4 brakes. I know it's a stupid thing, but it works. Power steering's right here. It's got a minimum maximum. As long as it's above the minimum, you're laughing. Where did my list go? Okay, the second thing was the tranny dipstick. Now I'm going to show you a stupid way of doing it. Okay, you pull the dipstick out, right? And you see where the level is. The level's right there. That's how much is in it, but the level is really back here when it's not running. And a lot of people don't like sticking their fingers in there when the thing's running, and I buy that. Unless you know what you're doing, don't. Just leave it turned off, pull it out, and you'll see it's right there. Okay? So that's 1.5 inches above the cold mark. Right here. So that's good. That's all you have to look for. And make sure it's pink. Okay? Now some of the diesels and that, they're air cleaners, because air cleaners, you know, the air cleaners are a big issue. Everybody wants to change them when they don't need it. They have an indicator on them. Now, how the indicator works is vacuum from the engine. So the more vacuum it sucks, the more it sucks the thing down, and or the filter's plugged, right? And it sucks it closed. So I don't have a whole bunch of faith in them, but at least for the people that don't know, it works. So it's something to go by, right? Antifreeze level. Now everybody's got this reservoir and you can't even see in there, right? So it's like putting lipstick on a pig, basically. So if you got a rad cap, you take the rad cap off slowly when it's cold, only when it's cold, and you look at the level and it's right there. Okay? That's how you check it. Not this ball here. This thing means nothing. This is, now if you got a rad that doesn't have a cap, then this will be above the rad, so you look in there like the Fords and that is up on the thing, on the firewall, and it'll be higher than the rad. But if you got a rad cap, look at the rad cap. Antifreeze, I don't give a shit what antifreeze you use. Red, green, purple, whatever. But try to keep what's in it. Whatever, it's got red or something. And try to keep it at -40. Now to get -40, is 60-40 antifreeze. 60% antifreeze, 40% water. That's how you get 60-40. But anyway, that's how you get it. Air cleaner we done. Fuses. Okay, on this one here we have a fuse box. I showed you that before, but I got to take my controller and all that out. Now, the thing to remember about the fuse box is that, especially on a truck, if you got a trailer package, your truck lights will be separate from your trailer lights. There's a separate fuse for the trailer. So if you got no lights on your trailer and you got lights on your truck, don't start ripping the harness apart. Check and make sure that the fuse is okay first. Because sometimes when you plug the socket in, you'll get it wrong and then it'll short the fuse out. So that's the first thing. Don't go start ripping the trailer apart. Check the fuse. Now, a Dodge and Chevy, you're all right because it's marked inside the cover. On a Ford, you have to go look at the number because they're all numbered. I know. I don't think it's a better idea, but that's Ford. They numbered all their fuses. Okay, the next one is... This is very important. Very important. A lot of people think in the winter time or when you get close to zero, what you want to do is pump out your windshield washer. Just push the washer until it empties and then refill it with minus 45 or whatever. Now, a lot of people will think, and it happens all the time, and it's not picking on the people. It's people don't know. So when they go and they'll park at night and then they'll try their washers and it won't work. Well, what happens is this is what happens. Because this is the washers for your windshield. Now, the motor for that is down on the windshield washer pump, right? On the bottom of the reservoir. Now, it's got to pump the antifreeze all the way up. Well, when you don't use it, these here will drain back down. So when you get frost at night, the frost will get on here and it'll leak down into the hole, believe me it will, and they'll freeze up. So sometimes you can just hit the washer and it'll go. But if you're not, just put a little bit of cold water or warm water on there and it'll free it up and then it'll start working. It's not the pump, believe me, because you push the pump, you'll hear it. So yeah, that's quite common in this type of year, this type of weather in the fall. Where we are here, okay, nozzles, yeah. Tire pressure. Tire pressure drop is very important. Now, I went on about tire pressure there a little while ago. So, we went from 70, 80 degrees and the tires were set at 70. It went down to 30, no, it was about 28 the other night, and the tire on the back dropped 10 degrees, or 10 pounds. 10 pounds it dropped. The fronts dropped about 6. And when you warm the tires up, then they sort of go up. But the only problem you have for us especially is we're going to outrun the snow. Well, we're going to try. I don't know if we will or not, but we'll try. Is that you have to pump them back up to 70 to get the light out. So now when I get down south, I'm going to have to take the air out of them because that'll be winter air. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You have to take the air out of them because it'll be too high because it'll expand so much. So you just have to watch that. That's all. The brake controller. Now the brake controller, a lot of people don't know. A lot of them are built in. So when you put it in, it plugs in. And the warning light that says that your trailer's disconnected. A lot of them got that Dodge. Some of the Fords got it. Now what that does is the brake light, not the power light, but the brake light. If it breaks or loose or connected, a loose connection will put that light on. Because when you unplug it, it comes on because it thinks that you unhooked the trailer, even though you're stopped and parked and all that stuff. That's just the way, nature of the beast. The only way to get it off is turn the key off, turn it back on, it'll go away. Okay, rotate the tires. Here's my view on rotate the tires. Everybody says rotate the tires. Now, what you do is you look at them. And if you don't know what you're doing, just buy one of them little, a little depth gauge, and it'll tell you what the depth is, and just keep checking them. Like if this tire's got 10 on it, and that tire's got 10 on it, or 11, or 12, why the hell change it? You're paying somebody to do nothing. And just make sure that they're not rounded off or anything like that. Believe it or not, in this truck, it's very well loaded, as you know that. And the trailer is very heavy. And I don't rotate my tires hardly ever. I don't think I ever rotated the last pair because they wear even all the way down. And theoretically, they should wear even. So, unless you're in snow and ice and you're spinning the tires a lot. Okay. Mirrors. The big thing about mirrors. If you got a trailer, you have to have an extension mirror on it. Now, some fold up and some you can buy these. But by law, you're supposed to be able, when you got your trailer on, to see behind it. By law. So, you should have a set of mirrors on it to get around that. So, that's my 10 things on a truck. And just stupid little stuff. Hopefully it helps you out a little bit. And I'll get back to you.